All right, hello everyone. So today is the 22nd of November, Wednesday. Let's take a look at the market. Now, yesterday, as you know, I've got gold in front of me. By the way, I put the Astro hours already onto the website, so they're all there. And plus, I've marked the lines here. Yesterday, I said if we have a pullback, you can go long, and the market did do so. Now, if you know technical analysis, if you learned it from me, you know the levels you can come back to. So all you have to do then is obviously just match your level and the Astro hour. So as you can see, the market fell from there. That was like a PST level where the market sold off before. So nicely coming in, but we had a target up there. Remember, we want to be going up. So the market picked up again, and these are the Astro hours it came to. And from these Astro hours, it went to that Astro hour. And as you can see, it's still in that zone there. Today, this is the daily pivot, so nothing to worry about here. The whole thing is just going as we planned. So what we need to do is get up here. We've got a bit more room to come up. Now, the first target now is up here. This is your LCL1 line, okay? And that's 2020. So we're going to do a bit of adjustment today, 2020. And your first level of support on the good buy case is 1991. So I've got 1991 here. And this is going to be our first support. So if we come here into an Astro hour, we'd like to take the opportunity there to go long. So I can now get rid of this. Okay. And now I can push this a little bit forward because I've got 2020 there. Okay. On the weekly, as you know, that's 60. You have to be careful for 2017. You just have to be careful because that's the weekly PST, and there's a chance that we may have a resistance. Now, I'm looking at the charts today. I'm in the sky, and in the New York session, if we're around here somewhere, we could have a push up. Okay, so we could have a breakout today. And if that's the case, then we should push into 2017, 2020 zone, and then if it breaks even above that, we've got 79 going into 2066. But we'll leave that aside for the moment because this is the most important zone for us at the moment. So 2017 is here. And this is already done, 2006. Remember, that was a target. So we already did that. So if the market pulls back, going up is not a bad idea. You can also go up like they did at the daily pivot. So if the market sizzles down here at the Astro hours or starts to push up, I think it's also doable. So any opportunity to buy around here is also okay. And I think the market just doing that is fine. There's a bit of a gap here. This is why this 1991 is important. Other than that, though, this is how it's panning out. So we want to keep going up. We want to be careful for the breakout. There's a possibility that that's going to happen. Okay, and that's that. So SP 500. Now, SP 500, remember, the swing days and the indices this week are a little tricky. So the market going up into our swing hours the day before yesterday is fine. And then the market came back into the retracement. And this zone, remember, is the manipulation bar. So the market comes here and it's right at the Astro hour. So this is the kind of trading we're talking about. We're in a zone and the Astro hour is right. And then you can buy into the next Astro hour, into the target, and so on. And here as well, look, the market is like going downwards, sideways, and it's just here you can see that it's beginning to turn around and come down here as well. And that's the opening pivot. So the market is just sizzling down. And I did say before, if we come down first, okay, so coming down first, then you can buy into it. If we were to go up first, we'd be selling into it. All right, so that's that. So weekly, let's take a look here again. Now we're in that zone 62 and 63. That's not going to change. 4,580, 60 zone there. And that's what we already have here, 4,560, 580. So this zone is still a sell zone. On the daily, let's see what we can do. If we get back up into that 77 zone there, which is 4,576 to 82, it's also sellable there as well. I'm going to get rid of this now because it's done slightly above there. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of that. And we're just going to focus on the PST levels. And that's basically what we're going to do. And that's it. Okay. This is also a good buy kiss here. So if the market taps up, selling from the highs again is not a bad idea. And then, like I said before, we should come down. So from those high levels, we are looking to sell, but this week is a little tricky. Why? Because every day is the possibility of a swing day. So we have to be a little careful. And if we go up, we can sell down. That 4,550, 4,550 is not that relevant. So I'm going to make that 4,558. Okay, up here on the daily. All right, so we're there and there and there. So we should pop up a little bit more. If we end up here at Astro Hours, I think selling is okay. If you want to buy into that, then you're going to have to wait for a pullback. Okay, and there's no other way. And that's it. Let's take a look at the euro dollar. Now, this is the daily chart on the euro dollar, and look at that. That's nice and easy. Remember, with the euro dollar swing day, we had Monday, Tuesday, and also Wednesday is a possibility. So turning from the highs is what we wanted to do. I marked that in, as you recall, and the market tapped that in nicely. So if you sold the high, you should have been okay. This was a retracement. If you bought here, you still would have been okay. But remember, we're looking for swing highs with the euro dollar. So the direction, if we went and made that high on the PST or our technical analysis at an Astro hour, you know, I know we're in sell mode. But even if you got it wrong, that would have been okay. And if you sold here again, this is an Astro hour. If you sold again, look, it went all the way to the next Astro hour. So that's also fine, in my opinion. You shouldn't have had any dramas. And this also, if you know technical analysis, you understand this is going to break. And the minute it breaks, the first place it's going to get to is the opening or the pivot. And that's basically it. And here it just came down here where the market gave that push before the breakout. So coming back there was logical. And once it breaks, that's a good buy kiss. It's an Astro hour. And then selling off into the next Astro hour there. So the daily pivot is a bit lower today. Let me just check out what we can do. So actually, selling is about to take place. So if we go up again, a good buy kiss is going to be that 72. Your first place to sell is 0937. 0937 is there. So pretty much up here you can sell again if the market goes up a little bit, which is I think it should. If it just sizzles down here, we should go up a little bit and then sell off. I can now get rid of this. This has broken down and that's fine. So any push up into there is okay to sell. And it's good to see the swings breaking there. Okay. So at Astro hours, the highs are okay to sell. I'm just going to refresh that. So we'll get the daily pivot up here. Daily pivot is also okay to sell. The PST is also okay to sell at Astro hours. And that's basically it. Yeah, and that's it. So let's take a look at Dow Jones, NASDAQ, and Bitcoin and call it a day. All right, so let's take a look at US 30. Now, this is US 30 and this is yesterday. As you can see, market sizzling down a little bit. I said this zone is still a sell zone. We should be selling. Let's take a look at the daily to see what we've got here. We've got room to come down into 65, which is 34,904. And we still have room to sell from the highs. Now, if you take a look at Dow Jones is Tuesday, Wednesday. All right, so Tuesday, Wednesday. So we are on a Wednesday, and you can see Tuesday, yesterday, the market was down. So going up to resell is, I think, okay. Again, just want to check if there are even highs here. Maybe just here. So if we go back up again, where can I sell this? That 70, what is it, 6, 8, 8, 35, 327. Let's just check it out. 35, 327 is there. This zone is still valid. On the weekly, let me just check this out. On the weekly, we're at 58, 59. So this zone is still good to sell. 59 is here, 35, 167, 35,010. 35,010 is here, and 167 is here. So this zone, 35,010, that can't be right. It can be right because it is low, 58, so we need to look at 59. 35, 167, that's correct. Okay, 35, 167 there, so I'm going to get rid of that. This zone is still okay to sell. Slight gap there, so be mindful for a sudden move. That we're going to keep on the radar, despite the fact that the weekly is done. The monthly still has room, and that could go. On the daily, we still might head up into that 35, 327, 385. 327, 385. Okay, so sudden move can happen today. It is on the cards, so be mindful. Okay, and that's just how it is. Okay, if you want to sell at an Astro hour, like I said, be mindful of the gap there. On the daily, you can see that this is the manipulation bar here. Okay, so the market's okay to sizzle down from this zone, including this 35,237. 237, 327. That zone is okay for us to think about a reversal. Okay, and that's basically all I can say. All right, so shorting from the highs, I think, is the way to go. 237, you can add here as well. 35,237 there. So this zone is okay to sell. This zone is okay to sell as well. NASDAQ. Now, same with NASDAQ here, as you can see, the swing day with NASDAQ as well is like Tuesday, Wednesday. All right, so Wednesday and Tuesday, as you can see, and that's Tuesday. So if we go back up again, I think selling is okay. 76 is your goodbye kiss, 16,235. 16,235 is a bit out there. If the market surprises you, don't be surprised. 16,235 is there. Okay, this zone was a sell zone in any case. The target was done on Monday. That's your Tuesday. Beautiful swing coming down. So if we go back up, selling again from this zone is okay. If it goes higher from that zone is okay. On the weekly, we're pretty much on that zone, you can see, and that's cool. And that's pretty much sweeping the stops. One little drama is the gap. This is why I've got the 16,284 there, and this is why you've got 16,2. Where is that 16,284? Let's do this. 16,284. Here. All right. Sell zone, sell zone. In any case, what you can also do is wait for a reaction. You can see this bar still has not broken this, so it could still be a bit bullish to go up. All right. Your first level of target is going to be that 65, 64, which is 15,810, 825. 15,825, 810. And there, all right. And then if it breaks below that, we've got that zone as well. But this is a nice fall, as you can see. Market picking up is okay. So retesting the high to sell is okay with us. Bitcoin, like I said, these levels are highs. Selling the highs is okay. We still haven't broken that level. We still haven't broken this swing here. If you're using your ATAM strategy, you see, like, you should be aware of the places where the market is picking up. So these high levels are good to kind of like sell off. This is the hourly. So if I move on to the 15-minute chart, if the market goes back up again, selling the highs on the intraday, in my opinion, is okay. And also just got to be mindful of those higher levels, which I talked about on Monday and probably Tuesday as well. Okay, so let's just turn this into a 15-minute chart. Okay, and that's basically it. So what we might have is a 1, 2, 3 tap, like an ending diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 maybe. And then that might be a fall as well. But this zone for me is a sell zone with a gap closed up. So might get a little choppy, like I said, but if you're going to sell, sell like the daily pivot or the opening where the market pushed off. You see, this is the manipulation bar here, just right on the daily. So Astro hours selling here is okay. If we are at higher levels, for example, 62, 37, 650, 37, 650. This will also be a place where you can sell. And that's it basically. All right. On the weekly, yeah, we are at highs on the weekly, as you can see. That LCL1, 35,100, let's say, is going to be a target possibly, 35,100, which is pretty much there. Okay, so this will be your target zone there if you're doing intraday trading on these.